What is up, everybody? Steve here today, and I just found this post so interesting about this gaming journalist. I thought he was a pro. I think he's a pro Xbox gaming journalist as well. But this whole like doom and gloom consistently about Xbox, especially once like the Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Matt Booty had that podcast about the future direction of Xbox in the future, with the whole 4 games are going to be on PlayStation and Nintendo platforms going forward. It's just like, I'm just so tired of the whole doom and gloom narrative. It's like, why can't we just go with that right there, what they told us? And then we speculate further down the line. Eventually, maybe it might change. But for right now, it's only 4 games, lesser games at that. So, this post, I'm going to talk, we're going to read this post, and I'm going to talk about it. Well, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way with this post right here. But this guy states that some Xbox fans are really putting their head in the sand, and they think Microsoft will stop at only just 4 games. I don't believe, like some, that Microsoft is planning for Xbox to have 0 tentpole exclusives, but there's no way they're going to stop at 4 games. And once again, these 4 games are lesser games at that. It's probably going to be like, Hi-Fi Rush is a fantastic game, so I wouldn't even call it a lesser game, but it's an indie, so that might be one of them. People are saying it's going to be like Grounded, Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is very popular, like on PC community, but I don't think it's really that popular amongst the Xbox community like that, and probably Grounded. So those are the games people are speculating, maybe Pentiment as well. So lesser games, it's not gonna be like a Halo or a Gears or a Forza. It's not gonna be nothing like that. So, and I don't see a big issue with that. They got these indie games, these lesser, like AA small games on PlayStation. I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal. But it's like the whole slate is gonna come to PlayStation. That narrative is just so stupid. It's just like, well, that's what the perpetual like sky is falling when Xbox is being discussed. Like just before we had the podcast, PlayStation announced they're not getting any big exclusive games to the next year until like 2025, and also they announced that hey, PS5 was in its latter stages. Is any of these gaming journalists talking about that? Nope. But you know what they are talking about? Xbox eventually putting their games on PlayStation. I don't understand how this overshadows that one. But it's always doom and gloom with these gaming journalists when it comes to Xbox. It's just kind of ridiculous at this point. So, I don't know. And at the point, if they do keep releasing more games on PlayStation from Xbox, I mean, it's going to suck, but I kind of don't care ultimately. Because it's like, if it's lesser games, I kind of don't care. I really don't care at this point. As long as they're not putting the big stuff over, I don't have a problem with that. So, and it's like PlayStation has games on Xbox. Like, are we forgetting that PlayStation has the MLB The Show, even though it was some wiggle room around how they got it on Xbox, but it's still on Xbox. They still see a Sony published game on Xbox right now. So I don't know. It's just like people just do the most when it comes to Xbox games in general. I just don't get it, but. Let's see what people got to say about this. Indeed, and the strategy absolutely makes sense. A careful approach to learn what works on the other platforms without undermining Xbox and the ecosystem. It's good that there will be more, but like Phil said, they're not going to suddenly launch everything on other platforms. Yeah, which Sony fanboys want that so badly, which just proves that they just really want to play Xbox games but not buy an Xbox. It's a weird concept right there. It's like they've been begging for Xbox games for the past 2 weeks with these rumors. It's just sad at this point. Like, if you really want to play Xbox games, just buy an Xbox. Like, don't just wait for a hope and a prayer that they might come to PlayStation. Just buy the system or buy a PC. When they see more cash flow, they'll port everything eventually. Even if it takes years, once you open the floodgates, it's everything. Everything's going to be on PlayStation, apparently. Is everything on PlayStation going to be on PC then? Because it's like, you can do the same argument with PlayStation putting games on over the PC. Is there a whole catalog going to be on PC then at this point? No, they won't stop at 4 games. I never thought they would. There will still be some level of exclusivity to their platform. Yes, they need a reason for people to buy the Xbox or the platform in general. So it's just the notion that all these games will come to PlayStation. Just all of them. Just dumb. The business of gaming is evolving. Yeah. We don't know if it's like even gonna be a console like the next like 15 to 20 years. So are they gonna be consoles still? Like, we don't know. Everything might be all digital, we don't know. So it's just like the constant doom and gloom is just so annoying. But I get it. This is how these guys get clicks though, the constant doom and gloom with Xbox. Sure, but they're not gonna put out Starfield, Halo, Gears. Phil said they're only putting out games that don't go against Xbox brand or devalue it. I can't wait until we just start playing games again versus discussing this topic every day. It is like an everyday topic. Like, what games from Xbox are going to go to these different platforms, or if they are not. It's like, that's the everyday topic at this point with these guys. Anything beyond those 4 games would be a huge mistake to the brand as a whole in the long term. You don't see Sony or Nintendo launching 4 or more games on Xbox. True, but they are, like, Sony's putting their games on PC, so it's like the console marketplace isn't expanding, so they gotta adapt their business model to make it still be afloat. And then I don't see what the big deal is. Like, I don't see what the hubbub is about if they gotta evolve their business model. Like, and then, let's be honest here. Most people who are listening to podcasts, listening to videos like these, most likely have ways that you can play all these systems anyway. Like, let's stop, like, beating around the bush here. Like, most people have multiple consoles. Like, a lot of people who are this dedicated to this like gaming community, you have multiple consoles anyway. So, I just don't get it. I mean, I prefer Xbox within the day. I'm going to play games regardless if it's on Xbox or not. So, if they put their games over to PlayStation, like, I don't know. Gonna really suck for PlayStation to use a 30% cut from all those games to pay for exclusives. Putting Xbox exclusives on PlayStation literally hurts Xbox gamers. They picked the wrong 4 games to test. Not that they're bad, but very niche. And also see that these has an extremely high learning curve. People see this as a weakness when in reality it's an absolute power play. They have the largest acquisitions of studios in the industry. The fact that they aren't able to cherry pick which games go multiplayer, which stays as flagship titles, will undoubtedly bring them more revenue. I'm assuming right there. No one is saying that they only release 4 games, but it's good to remember that Xbox games are already present on PlayStation. Yeah, there's like they got Cuphead over there, they got Ori and the Blind Ori and Will Whoops, the Ori games over there. So it's like you already got games from Xbox over there. So it's like as long as we ain't seeing Halo over there, then I don't see the big issue. This guy says, agreed, but I don't think many Xbox fans believe that it will stop at just 4. It just won't be at all. Some disgruntled people are trying to rile/shame fans for not going ballistic at this. And I think that's what sucks for the community. Game Pass still brings the same value to Xbox. Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like people keep putting this out there because they want Xbox fans just to be so angry and riled up. It's like, what's the purpose of that? Like, these people prefer to play on Xbox, then why are you trying to make them be upset at the brand? Like, that's the thing I don't get too. Like, I've seen several, like, especially these past few days, several diehard Xbox fans just suddenly say, hey, we hate Xbox now. Xbox is trash now. I was like, really? You just really want everybody else to share this same, like, state of misery that you're in? Like, I just don't get it. Like, if you're a fan of Xbox, be a fan of Xbox. I don't understand this constant, like, doom and gloom of with the brand. This craziness. It's just insane to me. Causes a stir within the gaming community. Backtracks, blames gaming community for overacting. Causes a stir within the gaming community. Repeat. It's kind of silly like at this point. I don't mind the smaller games going to the rival consoles. That's good. But the tentpole games, no. Yeah. Like, I believe even Super Lucky still is on Nintendo Switch, and nobody cared about that game going over there. So, that's the Xbox game. So, I don't know. I think people are blowing this up out of proportion, and they're just trying to roll up the Xbox fan base for no reason and say we got to be super angry about this decision. It's like, the Xbox brand is still intact. You still got a console you can play. You got a console you can play your preferred games on. So, I don't see what the big issue is. I don't see the need for this constant, like, being angry about the games going over. I can absolutely see more live service of smaller titles cross the gap between platforms. We're seeing every major publisher except Nintendo do this. Yeah. And these people are delusional. They don't think PlayStation is going to put their games over different platforms either. Like, Once again, it seems to be a cap in the console gaming space. So they need to make more money because these games are costing more. So you are delusional if you think PlayStation gonna go the same route. Like at one point, there might not even be exclusives anymore in the console game realm at this point. So until then, I think people are just overreacting. These 4 games are a test to see what audiences on different platforms respond to. Eventually, it'll come to a point where they test the waters with other franchises. Some of them make folks mad. It's insane how people are overreacting to this. Literally nothing has changed. They can still play Indiana, Hellblade, Avowed, etc. This proves it wasn't about the games to begin with, but the console wars and being better than the other plastic box. Sad and pathetic. I understand their new strategy, but even if they won't release all their exclusives on other platforms, they won't have enough exclusive games for Xbox if this keeps up. Really? 4 games means they just won't have no other games. I'm done reading this. This is getting annoying. This is actually annoying me now. It's like, once again, I just don't get it. It's like the perpetual doom and gloom is what these people just focus in on that. It's like, whatever. But I'm going to include it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.